honestly, at this point, it's just devilish.
Like, how do we get here as a society? Like, literally, this video is giving...
How? 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 I don't know.
Okay. Nah, bro. What are we doing?
Right. Shalom, Mesharallah. Before we go into this lesson, we give all honor, all glory, and all praises be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakodash. We give double honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of James Camp, but to know great milestone for the being 100% true that I be currently edified under. Shalom to the elect, the tabernacle of David. And I am Robert Azaria coming through this lesson. Now that's why I played the video. It is very evident. I'm making no mistake here when I say this. It is very evident that the 2/3 cannot change from being the 2/3. It is very evident that this place is very wicked and corrupt and needs to be destroyed, even to the foundation of something called as consistent as biology is. That this is a fact. This is something that is happening now. And it is not a norm to the elect, but it has become a norm to our people, Yasharallah. The 2/3 of our people, to be exact. Because how could a man dress in such a way to be identical to a woman? And the only thing you could differ from him not being a woman is him speaking. I'm sure we all look at that video. Before he spoke, I was like, okay, a woman there, you know, whatever she is doing before. And then as it spoke, as it, not him, not her, as it spoke, we understand what gender they are. This cannot be normalized. This is abomination. And these abominations have to go. Let me point to the first part. Right then and there. Alright? And I want to go straight into the law. Because it matters at this point. This is why we always apply the standard Isaiah 8:20 to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, that's because there's no light in them. So only one who decides to come against what is being brought out here, you must understand there's no light in you at this point. Something is very wrong. Let's get a precept in Deuteronomy 22. That's number one. That's one part. There's more, but let's do this one part. It says, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto Yahweh thy power. So he immediately outlines you as an abomination. Not to mention, when you go back into the scriptures, be careful with that word, because guess what? The Father, out of the scriptures, made it clear. It says, again, we always bring this out. It says, for Yahweh hated all abomination, and they that fear him love it not. And if we fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we also were supposed to hate these abominations. Number one. But going back into the precept, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. What does this mean? The womanly apparels of tight-fitting clothes and all these things, and what women would normally have, or what women would normally wear. That he has on tights and I don't even want to show the video again. Like, being honest with you. Like, come on, at this point, why? Not to mention the hair. Let's go into that a little bit. We need to go into that a little bit. Let's go into the cross reference. Let's get that precept a little bit so we can have more understanding, right? Then we'll go into some more precepts after. As it goes on to say, right. Let's get this precept immediately. Right here, 1 Corinthians 11, and I believe it's verse 14. Let me see. Right. Verse 14 and 15, straight to the point. It says, "Doth not even nature nature itself teach you that if a man have a long hair, it is a shame unto him?" And we see this guy putting on a wig as part of his effeminate apparel to sway men on TikTok. And it goes on to say, "But if a woman have a long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given for her a covering." So her long hair is a covering onto the woman. And the woman has two coverings, one being her husband, the other one being what? Her hair. It's a garment. It represents a garment onto her to be. It is a garment to be exact. It is a womanly garment. For those who don't know, long hair is a womanly garment, and it is a covering on her head. And what do I mean by that? Let's get a precept. Let's get a definition immediately. We need to go into this a little bit more to show in two counts he's already in error. Not to mention the last one being the abomination for what? That effeminate behavior which we're going into just now. So let's wait. Right. So
Strong's G 4018. Peribalayan.
right.
Peribalayan.
Right, it says a covering thrown around, or a wrapper, a mantle, what is a mantle? A clothing, or a veil, what is a veil? A piece of clothing. Let's keep going. It says, something thrown around, or i.e. a mantle, a veil, a covering, or a vesture. What's a vesture? Let's get into these words immediately because we need to establish that point. Right, so let's go into mantle first. Then we go into veil or vesture, whatever the case is. Mantle, which is a piece of clothing, somewhat like an open robe or cloak. So that's what her hair is onto her. Let's keep going. Vesture. Alright, a covering of or like, and it goes comma, clothing. Right there, noun, right? Verb. A vesture, a vesturing of simple and past and past particular, a vestured. That's what it gives, which is the cloth, right? The cloth, which is, to clothe select, which is exactly what the hair represents. A covering for your face and for the head coming down. That's why women naturally supposed to have long hair. It covers their face, it covers their necks coming down. So this is a womanly apparel, which is why Scripture tells you in Deuteronomy, neither should a man put on a woman's garment, because we identify that as a garment as well, for those who don't know. We went into both, right? Vesture, all right, good. So with that understanding, you are in two counts of what? Transgression immediately. This is why Paul said that. Listen to what he says again. Let me go back into the precept. Let me go back into it and let me read it again. It says that not even nature itself teach you. That's why he paired them together. Because what? It's a garment, or it's a covering for a woman. Our covering is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Their covering is their hair, and us, men, their husband to be exact. Let's read. That not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him. But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given for her a covering. Given her for a covering, it says, but if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such customs, neither the churches of power. Correct. We have no customs of men having long hair. So it should not be practiced. That's why it was mentioned above in 1 Corinthians 11 and verses 14. It's a shame unto the man. Yet this guy is putting on wigs, dressing like a harlot, a woman. And I'm sure there are Christian people that are going to be like, it doesn't matter. He will be forgiven. He can be saved. Yeah, okay then. Say that when Yahweh Shem Rashai comes out. Let's see what happens. Since you could control all that aspect, tell him that when the time comes, when he rejects them. That's all. When they are burning. Not hell, of course, but the lake of fire. When they receive them ICBMs up the ass. Tell them that. Tell Yahweh Shem Rashai that. You're supposed to be able to let them go to save them at that time. Because you can't. This is why Scripture made very clear mention of the effeminate behaviors. Look at that precept. Again, the same book of Corinthians. Let's just go back a little bit to verse 6. Straight to the point, on to 9. It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of power? Be not deceived, neither fornicators. So he begins to outline the unrighteous. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. One more time, effeminate. Let's see what that word goes into. Your softy behavior, female-like behavior, is not going to be tolerated in the kingdom of power. Simple. Soft to the touch, metaphor in a bad sense, effeminate. Of a boy kept for homosexual relations with a man, or of a male who submits his body to unnatural lewdness, or it says of a male prostitute. See? So either soft, which he is, you understand? That's the effeminate behavior, which is not permitted from Yahweh Shem Rashai. It's actually condemned. And this is why they made a very much outline in Romans chapter 1, which we will go into. It says what? Starting verse 26, it says, for this cause power gave them up to vile affections, for even the woman did change the natural uses into that which is against nature, which is what you see in them doing now. Trans, homosexuality, lesbianism behaviors. And likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman burn in their lusts one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was met. So we're seeing the behaviors of men today taking on characteristics of women or trying to adapt it, whether it be by surgery or whether it be by dressing up. There's a name where it's called these people who dress up like women. There's a name, a specific word is called. I'm forgetting the name. Is dress up like women to take other man is a word. Cross dressers. That's it. Cross dressers. He's nothing but a cross dresser. And these things need to stop. These abominations have to stop. And then you're going to go in a church, but go to your knees and praise what you call him, Jesus, and ask for forgiveness from him and think you're forgiven, and then to do it again. There's the mindset of these people out here. Verse 28, and it says, and even as they did not like to retain power in their knowledge, power gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which he is doing, which are not convenient, which he is doing right in the video, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of power, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of power, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. You want to portray yourself as an abomination? Yahweh Hashem is going to destroy you. There's nothing you can do about it. It's already written because you choose to be disobedient. Who know in the judgments of the Most High, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Are you not doing these things? We have you in 4K on a video. And many other jakes, or look-alike jakes, like to practice this wickedness as though it's something normal. And then when they're done, like the pastor who dressed up like a modern day, what modern day teenage may would look like, which is a lie. Modern day teenager just like that. This guy has on, his belly is hanging out. Tights showing his buttocks. And his male parts. And you going up with a high heel and a piece of extra hair in your head. The professor, this is what modern day men is dressed? Really? You know you're some bullshit. Come on, you know you're feminine too. You know you want to join the bandwagon. You want to adapt that lifestyle. Go ahead. All of y'all are doing things like this are going to be destroyed, whether you like it or not, because the scripture make it clear. Not to mention, let's go back into Psalms. Back into the OT. Psalms 5, Salak. And verses 4 and 5. Verse 5 to be exact. It says, the foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Because why? They've already made themselves abominable. He is displeased with their lifestyle and their ways, especially those that are under the law, and choose to be disobedient, because what scripture tells you. Proverbs 1 and verse 7. I read. It says, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And many of our people are very disobedient and very stiff-necked in their ways. Even if they know it's wrong, they still willingly do, because what? It's just that's what they want to do. So guess what? This is why they have to be purged out of this earth. This is why they have to be recreated under the elect, the men that has changed, much like Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that they that come out of them would have on the right mindset at the same time. Put off that old man to bring in that new being. So when they come back, they'll come back as that new being, another wicked man that they have in here today. It's simple. So let's close up with Proverbs 21 and verse 15. For it says, it is a joy to the just to do judgment, but the destruction shall be to the what? Workers of iniquity. For the workers of iniquity. So if you want to continue in your blatant wickedness, even when we speak, you still want to continue in your blatant wickedness. You have nothing more to receive but sheer judgments by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, and his elect. So I hope this lesson was clear and edifying, short and sweet. Like I said, the title goes, these abominations have to go. I'm fearing for if I have a son, I'm afraid for my son if that is the case. If this is how bad it is, imagine, I mean, we don't have that time, but imagine him growing up in a world like that, bringing home a woman, only to find out that this woman was a man before. You know, do you know, he and me finding that shit out, do you know we will end up in prison for life? You understand the levels? This is why this is why these things have to go. You're like fully wicked in your ways. And you'll know you're wicked. I will not change. Natural basic biology goes against the very ways that you'll do. You'll tend to want to bend the laws of biology and as well. Come on, make it make sense. This is why you'll have to go. Shalom Yasharala. Kal Halal Yam Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. We get double honors to the apostles and prophets and elders of James Khan, but Thomas great wisdom for them before the 100% truth that I'm currently edified under. Shalom to the elect, the tabernacle of David, and I'm Roberto Zariach saying to you, Shalom.